Good morning. My name is Lindsay Bushman. I'm a Pilates instructor. I'm doing a monthly class here on Lark Ellen, and today's class is going to be focused on side bending and the obliques. So we're going to work them and stretch them. We're going to be in standing up. You won't need any equipment for this, so if you're traveling for the holidays, that is awesome. If you have a mat and water, that's great too, but don't worry if you don't have a mat, you can totally still do this workout. So we're going to start warming up those legs. Toes and knees turned out wide, heels together, toes apart, and we'll bring those hands behind the head. Open your elbows and drop your shoulders. As you bend your knees, press your knees back in space, and then bring your right elbow to your right thigh. Try to keep your chest open. Come back through center, stand up tall. Bend the knees. We're going left elbow, left thigh. Come back to center, stand up tall. Now every time I want you to challenge yourself to get so low that you get your elbow to touch your leg. And let's keep these nice and slow to start. We're just warming that body up. I want you to think of your back sliding along a wall as you go into the side bend. So the challenging part of the side bend is the top shoulder. So when we go to the left, the right shoulder not rounding in. So press that left elbow open and drop that right shoulder down. Good, let's pick up the pace just a little bit, taking it side to side. Thinking of a long neck, good, squeezing that bottom waistline and stretching the top waist. Good, continue this. So as we're going side to side, notice how flat my spine is staying rather than something like this. So try not to dive forward into it like that. And let's continue. We're gonna stay nice and low here. Do not stand up and take it right and left. Good, we're here for 4. This is when we truly warm up, yeah? 3, 2, 1. Come back to standing. We're just gonna add on to this. Bend the knees, side bend to the right and reach your right hand long. Tap the inside of the right foot. Stand up tall, hands behind the head. Taking it to the left, knees bend wide. Take the left hand down, tap the inside of the left foot. Hands behind the head, stand tall. So we're just getting a little bit deeper. You can always modify this by maybe just tapping your knee or the inside of your calf. No problem, listen to your body. I would rather your spine stay really lengthened than rounding into it just to get lower. Okay guys, we're gonna stay low in those legs, just the upper body. Reach for the inside of the right foot. Exhale, come center. Reach for the inside of the left foot. Exhale, come center. When I side bend right, I'm gonna draw my left shoulder blade on my back and press my left elbow back in space. And center, one more side bend left. Press that right shoulder back and come to center. Stand up nice and tall. One more warm up move. Arms are straight. This will be most challenging. Bend the knees. Side bend to the right. Exhale through the center, return. Knees bend wide. Side bend left. Exhale through the center, return. So this is working our core for sure. Think of reaching through the arms. Drawing in through those shoulders. Good, and like we were talking about earlier, in this position, make sure your back is gliding against that imaginary wall so that we don't round forward into it. Good, let's go 2 more. Last one right here, and just stay low. Take it right and left. We're also stretching out those lats, so create as much space between your right fingertips and your right knee, and then your left fingertips and your left knee. Let's go 4. Can we go a little bit further, get warm? 3. Nice and slow, 2. Final 1. Exhale, center. Release the arms, stand tall. I am already sweating. I hope you guys are too. Okay, we're gonna take it down to the mat. Now that we're nice and warm, bend your knees, plant your feet, and take your hands behind your head. Extend your left arm long. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Keep your pelvis totally still.
we're going to side bend, reaching our left hand for our left heel, and then back to center. Side bend, squeezing the left side, and center. Now my chest is staying at a hovered position the whole time. My abs are in and my back is flat on the mat. And now as we're doing this side bending action, I want you to keep your right hip, the hip we're moving away from, and your right foot planted and still. We're gonna go all left oblique, 4 moves, and then all right oblique. If you need to rest your head in the center, you can move up, down, and side bend. Last one right here. Come center, keep that chest up, knock the knees to the right, and now continue. Reach for that left heel and center. Good, if you're wearing a shirt, I want you to wrinkle the front of your shirt, pull the abdominals in. You want to think of getting your spine in kind of like a C curve shape. Now you're trying to round your back, and that is going to help us activate those center core muscles while we burn out this left oblique. Let's go for 4. Lift up and over your rib cage. 3, 2, 1. Coming center, both hands behind the head. We'll circle left, center, right, lower down. Exhale, left, center, right, lower down. So we're making a circling action with the chest. Knees are knocked towards that right wall, and we are isolating this left oblique. And we have 4. And relax your head, neck, and shoulders, and lift from your stomach muscles. If your head starts to fatigue, place it down, let your neck recover, and come back to it. Last one. Okay, right leg tabletop, hips planted on the mat, left leg long. We're gonna curl up and reach our left elbow outside of our right thigh, and then inhale back to center, rest the head. Exhale, curl up, reach the left elbow outside the right thigh. Inhale, lower down. Take this nice and slow. I know that is a little evil doing these slow, but much more effective. Flatten your abs into your body. When you curl up, you want to be careful of your abs puffing out into your shirt. Pull them down away from your shirt. Good. This is our finisher on this side. Let's finish. 5. Slow and controlled. 4. Make sure there's no space between that low back and the mat. Final 2. And final 1. And release. Awesome work. You know what we gotta do? We gotta do the right side. Knees bent, feet planted, hands behind the head. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Try to lift that upper back off the mat, and then reach the right arm long, palm faces the floor. Keeping your chest up, we're gonna side bend to the right, reaching for that right heel, and then return center. Side bend right, squeeze your right rib cage to your right outer hip, and center. And really think of this left hand supporting your head. I know that when your abs aren't as strong, that's really a hard thing to find. That's why I suggest if you're starting to fatigue and all you feel is your neck, just take a quick break and come back to it when you feel like your neck isn't taking over and that you're able to feel your abs burn and fire. Then crease that core, try to make some lines in your stomach. I know that might not be the most beautiful cue, but it's true. You are trying to squeeze the waist together. Let's go for 4 and 3, for 2, last 1. Try not to rest if you're feeling strong. Knock the knees left. The right hip is slightly lifted. We're going to continue our side bends. Curling up and to the side. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. We want to keep some distance between the chin and the chest. That's one thing that happens a lot too in core work is clients tend to lift their neck and not the upper back. So if your neck is lifting without your upper back lifting, you're really not using your core too much. So see if you can get your shoulder blades off the mat, even if it's just for like 2 reps. That's going to burn or work the core muscles a little more. The last one, come center, hands behind the head. We have some circles. So I'm going to circle right, up through center, left, lower halfway down. Breathe out on the way up. Breathe in on the way down. And I'm trying to keep the lower half of my body still as I circle around my waist. Hello, right oblique. Give me 5 more. We're here for 5, 4. Make that breath audible. It's definitely helpful to use your breath when you're working out. It oxygenates the muscles. It gives them more energy. Helps keep the fatigue away. Last 2. 1 more. We're on to our last move on this side. Okay, hip center. Left leg tabletop, right leg long. Press the space between your mat and the back away. We're gonna curl up, twist, bring that right elbow outside of that left thigh, hold onto it. Inhale, center, completely rest the head. Exhale, curl up, rotate. Inhale, center. Good. When you go into that twist, try to lift your left shoulder blade off the mat as well. Be careful not to lean onto it. And center. Breathe out, curl up. Breathe in, lower down. I really want you to think of bringing your right elbow to your knee rather than your knee to your elbow. Good, so if I'm bringing my knee towards me, I don't really have to lift up that high. Good, let's finish here. We've got 5. Inhale down, breathe out, lift up. 4. Tighten that core, last 3. And 2. And final 1. And take it down. Woo! Grab the back of your legs, roll it up. How are we feeling? Abs have been worked. Do we feel our obliques? Hope everybody is still hanging in there. So we're going to move it on into an exercise called teaser. So we did lateral flexion of the torso where we went side to side. Now we're going to do it of the neck. So if you need to modify this next one, legs on the floor or crisscross applesauce, chest is open. You're going to take your head right and left. We're stretching out the sides of the neck. You want to imagine the back of your head, the back of your spine is against the wall, and we're going side to side. And if you'd like to advance this, we're going to bring it up into our teaser position. Legs glued together, heart is lifted. You can reach your hands forward or modify by holding your thighs. From here, right ear to the right shoulder, left ear to the left shoulder. And now it's important that when we go ear to shoulder, our nose doesn't turn towards the ground. So the front of your face should look directly forward the whole time. Good. Let's continue this. Reach your arms out to a T. When you drop your right ear to your right shoulder, I want you to reach your left arm away from you. That feels amazing. And then left ear, left shoulder, and reach that right head away from you. Head goes right, reach through the left arm and sink the left shoulder down. Head goes left, reach through the right arm and drop that right shoulder down. Good, let's take a couple more. If you're more advanced, straight legs. I hope my feet are clean. They're usually not, so this might be a better angle. Side to side. Good. Super strong in that center. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. And take it down. Seated side bending. So legs straight out in front of you. If your low back rounds, I'm going to have you bend your knees so you're able to sit up nice and tall. The key with this exercise is not letting your butt lift off the mat.
So glue your sits bones to the floor. They're not going to move from here. Reach your arms straight up by the ears. Shoulders soften, palms face in. Tighten your stomach muscles. Side bend all the way over to the right. Left hip is on the floor. Left arm is reaching long. And center. Side bend all the way over to the left. Right hip has not left the mat. Right arm is reaching long. Center. So again, having that imagery of your spine staying against imaginary wall as you go side to side. So I'll show you this from the front angle. As we're moving to the right, notice there's no lift of my left hip. Make sure that left hip stays on the floor. Side bend left, right hip has not moved. Let's do 2 more each side. So I want you to inhale into the side bend and exhale center. I get a lot of lat stretch here too. So if you really try to straighten those arms, you might find that as well, which feels good. Okay, chin off the chest. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, center. Last one. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, center. Release. I swear, it's so hard to just sit up tall. So come to kneeling. We're going to take this to a mermaid crunch. So left knee underneath the hip, right leg's going to extend long out to the side. And if you need a pillow underneath your knee, if for some reason your knees are feeling sensitive on your tile or wood, not for some reason, mine definitely do, please put a pillow underneath your knee. Scoop your belly in, advanced arms up, intermediate hands around the shoulders, or you can wrap your hands around your belly. Let's try the arms up. We'll see what happens. Side bending up and over to the left. So we've got a long line from my right fingertips to my right foot. My right foot is still on the floor. I'm going to lift back up 90% of the way, but not fully releasing the contraction in my waist. Inhale, side bend, lengthen. Hold for a moment. This is the fun part. And then come up just 90%. As you go down, I want you to take about 4 seconds to make your way down. And about 4 seconds to make your way back up. So that we're challenging those muscles and not moving with momentum, which is super easy to do. Okay, go for those straight arms if you're reaching up overhead. And front of the pelvis is lifting, ribs are connected. Let's do 1 more here. And slowly lift. Right palm, right thigh, left arm stretches all the way up and over. Sink that left shoulder into the body and open your chest. Good, all the way to the ground. Left hand underneath the shoulder, right palm to the floor, stretch it overhead. I'm pushing my hips forward, pulling my abs in. We want no back bending in the spine. Rotate your right toes and knees to the sky. Lift up out of your bottom waist and float that right leg up. Squeeze your knee to your elbow. Inhale, lengthen apart. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch. If you need to modify by placing your right foot on the floor, feel free when you go long to rest it and then lift it back up. More advanced, try to keep it at hip height for me. We're here for 5. Inhale, find the length. Exhale, pull it in. 4, 3, breathe with me. Woo, I fell out of it, that's okay. 2, and last one. And stretch. Okay, we're coming down onto our left forearm, elbow underneath shoulder. Feet are kicked back towards our tush, knees are in front of our hips. Here's your modification, is keeping your hips on the ground. If you'd like to advance this, hips lift up. Keep your feet together. We're gonna open our top knee up and squeeze our right glute and then lower the knee down. Good, so of course, we're still working obliques for our side lying series. Bottom waist is lifted. If this goes into your neck, I want you to just look down towards the ground. As you open your knee into this externally rotated position, make sure that your hip, your top hip, does not roll open towards the ceiling. So our hip bones face the front wall like headlights, and they do not move. Let's finish here with 4 and 3. That's it, last 2. Final 1. And lower that down. We're coming up into a side plank. Feel free to modify on the form and keeping the knees bent. Left hand planted underneath the shoulder. We're gonna bring the right foot to the front, left foot to the back. Open the chest up, reach that top arm to the sky. Reach your top arm underneath your waist, pull your hips up, twist. Lengthen your body, lower your hips an inch, and reach the arm to the ceiling. We're gonna exhale, rotate, pull the navel in. Inhale, lengthen, stretch up. Very nice, guys. Twist and lift. Lengthen and inhale. Exhale, belly button to the spine. Inhale, hips lower down. Let's go 5 more. We've got 5. I know this is a hard position, but you're gonna feel amazing after. 4. And 3. For 2. They always joke in Pilates that our counting seems like forever. And 1. Good. And then we're going to take it into a plank. Hands underneath shoulders. Lengthen your chest forward. Right side is going to go wide. Right knee goes wide. Tap the elbow. Step it back. Let me show you from a different angle. It's not the best way. So hands underneath the shoulders. Right knee wide. Reach it back. You can modify by placing the foot on the floor and tapping it down. Advance. Let's keep it up. Good. 7 more. We got this. Squeeze. Try to get a full tap. Touch. Reach it back. Exhale in. Inhale back. And we have 5. Stay strong for 4. Pull your belly in. Power out of those palms. 3. 2. And 1. Good, and lower those knees down. Shake those arms out. Hard work. We're doing great. Okay, we're gonna do that whole series on the other side. So, walk over to the right side of your mat. Reach your left leg out to the left. Foot is down, toes and knees point forward. We're gonna drop the tailbone down. Actually, I wanna show this to you from the side. So we want to be careful not to be in this position in our back, like a banana back. We want a flat back. So pelvis forward, tailbone to the ground. See how there's less back bend there? As you move through the exercises in this kneeling position, I want your spine to stay just like that. Okay, here we go. So arms are up or on the shoulders to modify. Scoop that pelvis like we just talked about. Inhale, lengthen. Nice and slowly over to the right, creating distance between your left hand and your left foot, and you're going to return just 90% of the way. So not all the way up. So we keep that engagement of the oblique. 4 seconds, we go right, 4 counts to lift up. Good. Create space in your heart. Relax those shoulders off the neck. And let's breathe together. Inhale, side bend. And exhale through the mouth. Tighten your core and return. Inhale, stretch up and over. I like to think when we're working the obliques, more of lengthening than crunching. So it's not necessarily like you're trying to pinch the right side here. You're actually trying to lengthen the distance between your ribs and your hips the whole time. Last 2. Stretch, head, chest back, return. Final 1. Keep those arms back and straight, and return. Left palm down on your left thigh, slide into a side bend, reach that right arm overhead, press your hips forward. Okay, rolling it all the way up. Right hand underneath the shoulder, left palm to the floor, reach it all the way overhead. Send the chest forward, lean the head back. Okay, we're into our side kick kneeling. So be careful of letting this right hip move out. We're trying to keep it stacked over the right knee. Rotate your left knee and toes up and float that leg up. You're gonna lean into it, pull your elbow to your knee, and then stretch it apart. Breathe out through the mouth, exhale, knee to elbow. Try to find some pressure there, tap it, and then lengthen. Remember, you can modify by lowering the leg to the mat. You can advance by keeping it at hip height the whole time. Awesome work. We're here for 5. And stretch. 4. And reach. Filling up that mid-back, making sure there's no arching there. 3. And 2. Try to keep it slow even when it gets challenging. Last 1. Lengthen and lower it down. Okay, come down onto your right forearm. Elbow underneath shoulders. Knees bent in line with the hips. Feet kick back for our clams. You can keep your hips down to modify. Otherwise, we're going to lift up. So we're balancing on the right forearm and the right shin. Feet stay together. We're pressing that right knee open and back. And then lower down. Good. Pull your core in. Hips and shoulders, especially the hips here as we're moving the leg. We want to be careful of opening your left hip to the sky. Try to keep it stacked right on top of that bottom hip. You're just going to do a couple here. More to focus on this side body than our legs today. Even though I think we hit the legs pretty well at the beginning of class. Okay, give me 4 more. 4. Squeeze into that right glute as you press your knee back and open. 3. Remember, eyes to the ground if your neck is hurting. 2. And 1. And lower it down. So you'll stay in that side plank position on the forearm and the shins right here to modify the next move. Otherwise, we're coming up onto that right palm directly underneath the shoulder, left foot forward, right foot back. So the feet are staggered. Top arm to the ceiling. I want you to be careful of dumping in this bottom shoulder. This is not good for the shoulder joint. Push the ground away from you. Open the chest up. Exhale, reach the the left hand underneath the waist, lift the hips, and then lower the hips back to level with the legs, reach the arm up. Exhale, rotate, belly button in. Inhale, lengthen. When you're in your side plank, this position right here, your body should be long as if it could be in between 2 panes of glass. So you're making 1 straight line. Let's finish with 5. This is that slow Pilates count I was telling you about. 4. Use your legs to help you. Push down into the feet. 3. And 2. Last 1. Exhale, hips up. Inhale, hips down. I'm just going to flip around so you can see my left side. This is our last move on this side. You guys are so close. Hands underneath the shoulders. We're going into a regular hand plank. Toes touch behind you. Lengthen that chest. You can always modify by just holding a plank. Float the left leg up. Turn the knee out. Pull it all the way up. I want a full tap. Reach it back. All the way up. We're working that left oblique. Finishing it here. If you need to modify as well in this position, you can put the foot on the floor for a second. Tap it down, reset, lift it up, knee to elbow. Let's continue. We're here for 5. But if you're advanced, I really need you to touch that outer arm each time. 4. Challenge yourself to get stronger and better every day. 3. 2. 1. And take it down. Woo! I am dripping. Okay, we're gonna do a tad bit of extension work. Flexion is when we do the crunches for our core. Extension is when we lift our chest off the mat. So kind of like a back crunch. I'm gonna go this way. I think this will be a better position. So legs long behind you. I'm gonna reach my left arm back. Palm faces my left thigh. My right arm overhead. In Pilates, we try to keep our gaze to the floor, which maintains the natural curve in the neck. rather than looking forward. So once you figure out what we're doing, eyes to the ground. Collarbone opens. We're gonna inhale, lift the arms and the chest up to a hover. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Side bend to the left. Reach the left hand down the side of the thigh, towards the left ankle, back to center. Now we're gonna go to the same side here. As you side bend to the left, press the top of your right foot into the ground. Because what will wanna happen here is the right hip will get light, the right leg will wanna lift. You can also think of, when you move into your side bend to the left, reaching your right foot past your left foot. It's kind of like an overcorrection to keep those legs in line. Okay, 5 more. Side bend and center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Yeah, I definitely feel that right hip wanting to lift. 3 and 2 and 1. Center and release. Okay, I'm just gonna show it from a different angle. So now we're gonna switch sides. Last time we had that right arm overhead. So now it's the left arm overhead and the right arm reaching back behind you. Pelvis presses into the mat, low belly lifts, and then we're going to lift the head, neck, shoulders, arms to that hover. We'll side bend this time to the right, reaching the right hand towards the right foot, and we're trying to keep pressure on our left hip, and then coming back to center. As we move into the side bend, our chest is neither going higher or lower. It's staying at the same height, and we're working that lateral flexion of the movement. So when I'm side bending to the right, I'm gonna reach my left foot to the wall behind me to help keep that left foot still. Let's find 5 more. We're here. 5 and center. Shoulders down, straight, strong arms. 4 and center. 3. Exhale, 2. Inhale, return. Last one. Side bend, center, release. Okay, we are finishing. Last move is our Pilates push-ups. So we're gonna do this with a twist, quite literally a twist. I'm not being funny. So if you need to do your push-ups on your knees, what you're gonna do is have your knees hips distance and turn your knees to the right. Chest is facing the ground. If you're going full plank, tuck your toes hips distance so you have space. Rotate your toes right. Turn your chest to the floor. 5 each way. 5 with our toes and knees facing the right. Elbows go out to a 3/4 bend. Exhale, press up. Inhale, down. Exhale, return. Use your core to help you. And you have 3, 2. Let's get nice and low. Last one. Press it up. Turn your toes and knees to the left. Knees on the floor if you need to modify. We're finishing here. Last 5. Down and up. Inhale. Exhale. We got this. Stay strong with me. Last 3. And 2. Awesome work. We're finishing here. Last one. Press it up. Lower the knees. Child's pose. Sit those hips back. Drop the tailbone down. Stretch the arms overhead and rest the forehead. Take 3 large breaths here into your belly, into your ribs, and up into your chest. And allow the spine to release and relax for a moment. And then walk the hands to you. Amazing. Okay, we're gonna take a nice stretch here. You deserve it. So let's all lay on our right side, all the way down. Stack your knees so they're one on top of the other, and stack your arms with your palms facing each other and reaching them straight out in front of your chest. As we move into the twist, try to keep this top knee still and not gliding back. So squeeze the legs together. Inhale, reach your top arm, your left arm, all the way back towards the wall behind you, opening the chest up. And exhale, release, come back to the beginning. We're gonna take 4 more. Inhale, reaching open and back. Drop that left shoulder towards the floor. And exhale, center. This should feel amazing after all that work. Okay, feel free to go at your own pace. It is so fine if you hold this stretch a little longer or if you move a little quicker. This is your workout. You make it fit your body and your style. Okay, last one. Inhale, big stretch, open. And exhale, return. Okay, lay on your back, legs straight and long. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, draw your shoulders in, and get rid of any space between your back and your mat. So I'm gonna press my rib cage into the floor and then reach my arms overhead. So now we're doing kind of the opposite of what we've done the entire class. Anti-lateral flexion. No movement in the spine. So think as if you're standing up straight, heels pressed down into the floor, top of the head reaches up towards the palms above you. Big stretch through the waist. And then release. So let's try that twist on the other side. So just roll over onto your left side. Knees are stacked, palms reach out in front of you. You're gonna inhale, reach that right arm open and back behind us. Drop that right shoulder towards the floor, inhale, mount. Mine certainly does not touch, but I will will it to. And then back to center. We're gonna take 4 more here. Inhale into the twist. And exhale, release. Inhale, open up, think of stretching your right and left arm apart from each other. You might even feel this in the front of the shoulder, in your pec muscles. Inhale to open. And exhale to return. Let's finish right here, last one. Inhale, right arm opens to the right side of the room, twisting that torso. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, let it go. And then roll yourself up, hug your knees to you. Up. Amazing work, guys. Give yourself a hand. I give you a hand. Thank you for practicing with me today. That was about a 35-minute Pilates and side bending obliques workout, and then a little bit of a stretch right there at the end. Again, my name is Lindsay Bushman. I'm here monthly for a class. I try to mix it up always. You can follow me on Instagram at Lindsay Rosebush for some more workouts, and I look forward to seeing you there. Have a good day. Bye, guys.